Good afternoon to Dr. Ganesh and my fellow friends. We are from MGM 4273, Team 2. Today, I and four of my teammates are going to have presentation 2 about Sri Lanka. And this presentation video will take around 33 minutes. My name is Chong Poteng with metric numbers 203421. Let's have a quick preview of the agenda in presentation 2. It includes political, legal, cultural environment, milk tablet product, tariff and non-tariff barriers, and lastly is the target market. First, let's look at the political environment of Sri Lanka. Overview: Sri Lanka experienced improvement in political rights and civil liberties after the 2015 election of President Maritala Sirisena, which ended the more repressive rule of Mahinda Rajapaksa. Timelines: in the November 2019 presidential election, Gotabaya Rajapaksa of the SLPP, which is the Sri Lankan political front, had defeated his main opponent, Housing Minister Sajid Premadasa of the United National Party, become the president of Sri Lanka. For the political system, Sri Lanka is the democratic republic and a unitary state which is governed by a semi-presidential system with a mixture of a presidential and a parliamentary system. Most provisions of the constitution can be amended by a two-third majority in parliament. The amendment of certain basic features such as clauses on language, religion, and reference to Sri Lanka as a unitary state require both a two-third majority and an approval in a nationwide referendum. In common with many democracies, the Sri Lankan government has three branches, which is executive, legislative, and judicial. Among these branches, the President of Sri Lanka, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, is the head of the executive branch. He acts as head of state, the commander-in-chief of the armed force, head of government, and is popularly elected for a 5-year term. Also, the President heads the cabinet and appoints ministers from elected members of parliament. In terms of legislative, the Parliament of Sri Lanka is unicameral. 225-member legislature with 196 members elected in multi-seat constituencies and 29 elected by proportional representation. Members are elected by universal suffrage for a 5-year term. The president may summon, suspend, or end a legislative session and dissolve parliament any time after 4.5 years. The parliament reserves the power to make all laws. The prime minister leads a ruling party in parliament and shares many executive responsibilities, mainly in domestic affairs. On the other hand, the judiciary of Sri Lanka consists of a Supreme Court, which is the highest and the final Supreme Court of record, a Court of Appeal, High Courts, and a number of subordinate courts. Criminal law is based almost entirely on British law. Basic civil law derives from Roman law and Dutch law. Laws pertaining to marriage, divorce, and inheritance are under communal law. Due to ancient customary practices and religion, the Sinhala customary law, which is Kayan law, the Tisa Walamai, and Sharia law are followed in special cases. From this slide, we can see that there are 4 types of major political parties in Sri Lanka. The first one is United National Party, UNP. The UNP was founded by Sinanayake on 6 September 1946 as a non-communal party with a pro-Western, anti-communist ideology. According to the founder, the key objective of the UNP is to provide freedom from poverty, diseases, ignorance, unemployment, and the factor of imperialism. For current parliamentary strength, coalition politics, and interest, the UNP stood for the most recent general election as part of the informal coalition UFNGG, with smaller parties running under the UNP ticket. A unifying factor that brought these ideologically disparate parties together was the prevention of the return of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa to power. Moreover, the coalition's manifesto has 5 key points, which is economy, education, infrastructure, anti-corruption, and the last is key legislative reforms. Next, the second political party is Sri Lanka Freedom Party. It is established in September 1951 by Bandaranaike, proclaimed the party as democratic and socialist. On 31 October 2019, SLFP agreed to stand under the Sri Lanka People's Freedom Alliance (SLPFA) umbrella with an alliance of 17 parties including the Sri Lanka Produjana Peramuna. Currently, the SLFP leads Sri Lanka People's Freedom Alliance coalition managed to secure 145 seats in total, making it the party SLPFA with the highest number of representatives in the 16th Parliament of Sri Lanka. The third political party that I'm going to present is Ilankai Tamil Arasu Karachi, ITAK. The founders of this federal party are Chilvarnayakam, Vanyasingam, and Senator Nakanatam. It became the main representative of Tamils in the north and east. The major objective of ITAK include establishing a federal union in Ceylon of Sinhalese and Tamils. Next is cessation of state-sponsored colonization in the Tamil majority areas, ensuring unity among the Tamil-speaking peoples of Ceylon, and the last is the equal status of Sinhala and Tamil languages. Currently, ITAK is under TNA with another 3 parties together such as Ilam People's Revolutionary Liberation Front, People's Liberation Organization of Tamil Ilam, and Tamil Ilam Liberation Organization. With the coalition partner, Tamil National Alliance (TNA) secured 10 parliamentary seats, the third highest number of seats in parliament at the 2020 election. Therefore, TNA was formally recognized by the Speaker as the official chief opposition in parliament. Last will be the Janata Wimukti Peramuna (JVP). The JVP was founded in 1964 as a leftist political movement in an era when the traditional leftist parties in Sri Lanka were experiencing waning support. It is established as a communist, and the initial support base on the JVP was almost entirely made up of rural Sinhalese youth. In 2015, the party continued to contest under National People's Power, having stood for the 2015 general election independently, and to manage secure 6 parliamentary seats. However, in the 2019 election, it only secured just 3 seats. The party was expected to perform better given its widespread acceptance as a party untainted by corruption. However, despite the small number of seats, given the unprecedented coalition between the UMP and the SLFP, the JVP became the fourth largest political party in parliament. Moving to the political and economic risk. The global average in 2019 indicate the short-term political risk with only 3 index points, while the medium or long-term political risk is 4.4 index point. Here, Sri Lanka ranks 74 with the median risk of 4 index point among 201 countries with regard to short-term political risk as compared to Malaysia with a relative low risk of 1 index point. While in medium or long-term political risk, Sri Lanka ranks 110 with the 5 index point as compared to Malaysia with 3 index point. Now, we will look details in the spider map. The magenta line represents the risk assessment for the year 2020 and the blue line represents the year 2021. We can see that the strike, riots, and civil commotion, country economic risk, currency incompatibility and transfer risk, sovereign credit risk, expropriation and contractual agreement reputation has increased from 2020 to 2021, where sovereign credit risk remained the highest risk in both year 2020 and 2021 with 6.2 and 7.2 respectively. This is because a drop in foreign exchange levels in recent months has heightened concern over the sovereign's capacity to meet its debt servicing costs. Next, let's go through the spider map for Malaysia. Compared to Malaysia, Malaysia has a smaller shape which indicates a more stable condition. It's only 4 risks showing an increase, which is war and civil war, country economic risk, currency incompatibility and transfer risk, and the last is sovereign credit risk, while expropriation show a decrease and the other remain at the same point. Then, the higher risk was the contractual agreement reputation with 3.9 points in both years. We compare the other aspect of political and economic risk between Sri Lanka and Malaysia, we can see that the Sri Lanka is more fluctuating compared to Malaysia. Then, let's look at the present government in Sri Lanka. The 16th Parliament of Sri Lanka is the current Parliament of Sri Lanka with the membership determined by the result of the 2020 parliamentary election. The incumbent party, SLPFA, claimed a landslide victory in the election, claiming the majority, winning the 145 seats with 59.09 of votes, while Samaki Jana Balawingaya won a total of 54 seats, 23.9 of votes, and National People's Power won 3 seats. The main opposite, United National Party, suffered their worst ever landslide defeat in history as they claimed only 1 seat. Next, from this government structure, we can see that the president in Sri Lanka is Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He serves as a Minister of Defense and Technology. Next, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka is Mahinda Rajapaksa. He has served as Minister of Economic Policy and Plan Implementation, Minister of Buddha Sasana, Religion and Cultural Affairs, and Minister of Urban Development and Housing. Then, we can see that the other current ministers shown below. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Jeribu with MH number 203426. I will continue to present the legal environment of Sri Lanka. Okay, next slide. Sri Lanka legal system consists of 5 general law. The first is English common law. The British continue to apply the local law and Roman Dutch law subject to changes done, if any, by introducing statutes of their own. Okay, the next is Roman Dutch civil laws, and in the combination of the Dutch law and Roman law, and when they thought that the local laws were unsuitable, they used Roman Dutch law for locals and it becomes a residual law. Okay, the third is Kanjur law and Sinhala law, and this law was formed when the Indian early settlers migrated to the Sri Lanka and brought along the laws and customs of indigenous people in their country. Okay, now this law is applicable as a personal law, such as the marriage and property rights and matter for the Kanjurs. Okay, next slide. Okay, the next is the Sewalamai law. Okay, the source of these laws trends to and laws used by Truvadians in Malapa Coast and Mother Cross, and the meaning is like law of the land, and which is applicable for the people who live in a specific area, and this law is still applicable to Tamil living in Jaffna regarding pre-action and intestinal succession. Okay, the last is Muslim law, and Muslim settlers have their own laws applicable to them. Okay, this law is also applicable as a personal law for all Muslim living in Sri Lanka, especially in marriages and divorce matters. Okay, next slide. Next is Sri Lanka court structure, and we can see that the Supreme Court is the highest court in Sri Lanka, and it has the final appellate jurisdiction and constitutional affairs and fundamental rights and election petition. Okay, next is that the Court of Appeal has the jurisdiction for the correction for any error in fact or law committed by any court of the first instance, tribunal, or other judicial institution. Okay, the next is High Court, which are the divided into the High Court of Civil Appeal and High Court and the Provincial High Court and Commercial High Court. Okay, the Commercial High Court has been empowered to hear cases involving commercial transactions worth of which exceed 3 million rupee. And then the next is District Court, unlimited civil jurisdiction in all civil revenue, trust, insolvency, and testamentary matter. Okay, the last is first instance courts include the magistrate courts and primary courts. Okay, the next slide. The new law include a capital gains tax on the sale immovable property and new tax administration rules. And that is a fine of out to 10 million rupee and all imprisonment for out 2 years for those convicted of tax evasion. And last is penalty of out 2% of total transaction value for any Sri Lanka's company and their parallel transfer pricing rules by not disclosing any information required for transaction between the related party. Okay, next slide. Okay, there are three major tax law in Sri Lanka. The first is corporate tax rate. Corporation tax is a tax imposed on the net income of the company. In Sri Lanka, the standard rate for the taxable income of a company is 24%. And the business consisting of gambling, liquor, and tobacco is charged 40%. And healthcare is charged 14%. And gain and profit for manufacturing is charged 80%. Okay, the next is the personal income tax rate. In Sri Lanka, the income tax rate for an individual will depend on the level of profit and income earned in a given year of assessment. Okay, the next is value add tax. Okay, it replaces the GST and this tax on domestic consumption of the goods and services. The standard rate for the VAT is 8%. Okay, next slide is company formation. The first is obtain approval for the business name, find a unique company name through the Department of the Registrar of Companies. Second, fill in and submit company registration form, and after getting the approval for the company name, they need to fill in and submit a few forms, which are the Form 1, 418, and 419. Okay, to the Department of the Registrar of Company. And third, submit an article of association. The company can either adopt the standard set of article of association in Table A of the Company Act of Sri Lanka or draft it on. And then is give public notice of the incorporation. Okay, the company must give the public notice within 30 working days after getting the incorporation approved and published in any daily newspaper in 3 languages. Then the company will receive a business registration certificate after the completing step 1 to step 4. Okay, the next step is bank account opening. Once the company was incorporated and apply for a corporate bank account, the last is obtain the tax identification. Obtain the tax identification number. Okay, pick out and complete the application for a tax identification number with supporting the documents. Okay, next slide. Repatriation of profit and other fees will be permitted subject to any specific and condition stipulated by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The company may invest in fixed assets in Sri Lanka as long as such assets are required for the purpose of its business in Sri Lanka, subject to Section 55 of the Financial Act number 11 of 1963. Next slide. Okay, marketing law has the 4 types, which are the Consumer Affairs Authority, Food Labeling and Advertising Regulation 2005, Fair Trading Commission Act, and Product Standard Regulation. Okay, next slide. The first Consumer Affairs Authority determines standard and specification for the production, manufacture, supply, storage, transportation, and sales of goods. If the goods are unfit for the consumption, the authority will sit and detain the goods, and the trader and manufacturer will be guilty for an offense. And next, Food Labeling and Advertising Regulation 2005, all labeling of packages shall be enlarged bold lettering in the legal ink, and the declaration of the packaging can be any one or more of the 3 languages. Okay, the food production cannot be sold and offered for the sale unless the label in accordance. Okay, the third Fair Trading Commission, as this law is quasi-judicial body, they come under the Ministries, the Commerce, and the Consumer Affairs. And the wide scope of the FTCA cover the power to control monopolies, mergers, anti-competitive practice, and the formulation and implementation of a national price policy. The last is Product Standard Regulation. Sri Lanka Standard Institution set product standard, approved imports cover under a mandatory import inspection scheme, and perform product testing and ISO quality management training. Okay, next slide. Environmental legislation. The first is the Central Environmental Authority, and its function environmental protection licensing, environmental impact assessment or initial environmental examination, regulation for the environmental protection, regulation for air quality and noise quality guidelines. The next is Environmental Population Control Unit, responsible for operation and control of environmental population issue, use environmental protection license as a guideline, and its function in preventing, minimizing, and controlling environmental population. Preparation of policy standard and guidelines to enhance the environmental quality. The last is the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, responsible for the provision of safe drinking water and facility provision of sanitation to the people in Sri Lanka. Its function under the Ministry of Water Supply and Drainage, and operation, maintenance of water supply and sewage scheme, implementation of new urban and rural water supply project. Okay, next slide. Okay, copyright protection. Copyright means the rights given by law to the creator for their literary and artistic work, and there are two forms which are economic rights and moral rights. Okay, the economic rights include the right to reproduce, sell, rent, and distribute and communicate to the public, and moral rights cover the right to claim the authorship and the right to oppose and deletion of the work. Okay, next slide. National Intellectual Property Office of the Sri Lanka. The first, and this is the only government body established for full control of intellectual property related matter. And the second, registration of the copyright is not required to obtain the protection in Sri Lanka, and this is because the copyright is protected for the debt. The work is published and then made available to the public. The third duration for the copyright in Sri Lanka is patent duration, the life years and 70 years after his death. Okay, the last industrial property invention patents, the right to exclude others from making, using, and selling the qualified invention for a period of 20 years from the date of application of the patent. So the owner of the patent can use and sell or license the patent technology. Okay, next slide. And this slide will show the correction precision index CPI in Sri Lanka and Malaysia. In 2020, the CPI of the Sri Lanka is 38 compared to the Malaysia CPI 51. So correction precision rate of the Sri Lanka is 34 per 118, while the Malaysia is 57 per 118. And then the low CPI rating indicated a higher level of correction, while the higher CPI rating indicated a green system. So that's for me. I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Zhao Huayu with my matric number 201676. Now I will continue to present the cultural environment of Sri Lanka. From this bar chart, we can see that overwhelming majority of Sri Lanka are Sinhalese, which is 74.9%, 11.20% of the ethnic group belongs to Sri Lanka Tamils, while 9.20% belongs to Sri Lankans, Moins. Then Indian Tamils only consists of 4.1%, and the other is 0.5%. Next, as shown in the pie chart, for the religion section, the official religion is Buddhism, and the following are Hinduism, Islam, Christian, and the last is Atheism. Next, more than half the population are nominally affiliated with Buddhism, which is the largest religion, about 17.2%. The year 1880, Buddhist schools were established which were aimed at encouraging and promoting Buddhism, as well as publications to encourage people's interest. This led to rebuilding of the shrines and the thriving of religion and culture. Hinduism is the second most popular religion with 12.6% of the entire population. Most of them are made of Tamils. They are more located in northern region of the Kampar state. Hinduism has two important beliefs, samsara and dharma. Samsara is that reincarnation and the actions in the life determine the status of the soul in the next incarnation, while dharma is like caste or social class. They have only present 9.7% of the entire population believe in Islam. The religion grew in the 7th century with the arrival of Arab traders. Then 8th century had taken culture of the Indian Ocean and the Middle East trading routes. Next, Christians are consensus of a small portion number of inhabitants in country at 61%. The Dutch people introduced the Christian entity before the arrival of Portuguese, who consensus left an unforgettable legacy with most of Christians being Catholics. Last but not least, Atheism in Sri Lanka only 0.1%, a very little percentage of the general population do not believe in any religion. Moving on the language, Sinhala and Tamil are two official languages of Sri Lanka. Sinhala is also called Sinhalese or Sinhalese. It is mother tongue of the Sinhalese ethnic group. Sinhala is widely spoken in the southern, western, and central parts of the island. It is one of the constitutionally recognized official languages of the Sri Lanka, along with Tamil, which has its origins in South India. Besides, Tamil is Sri Lanka's second official language, spoken by about 5 million people on the island. Tamil belongs to Dravidian language family, which is predominant in southern India, particularly in state of Tamil Nadu. It is almost exclusively spoken in northern and eastern parts of the island. When we mention Sri Lanka, then all the time we will think about its tea plantation. Sri Lanka is the largest producer of tea in the world, one of the best tea producing countries. There are many tea factories around the mountainous areas. The Lonar tea is an internationally recognized brand today, and it is important across the globe. Russia is the largest importer of Sri Lankan tea, followed by Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. Tea is served whenever a guest comes to a house. It is served at festivals and gatherings or just for breakfast. Sri Lanka is a high consensus culture because Sri Lankans usually communicate and the messages are implied rather than direct spoken. People may need a deep understanding of its culture in order to understand what is being communicated and avoid misunderstandings. From individualism versus collectivism aspects, Sri Lanka shows a low score of 35 in the dimension, meaning that Sri Lanka is considered a collectivistic society. The society fosters strong relationships where everyone takes responsibility for fellow members of their group. Next, masculinity, femininity aspect. Sri Lanka scores extremely low, masculine with a very low score of 10. Is that considered a feminine society? Many women are elected to several cabinet, state, and deputy ministers in Sri Lanka. For example, Mrs. Srimavi Bandarik was elected as the first female prime minister in the world history of parliamentary democracy. Besides, in Sri Lanka score a significantly highest power distance with score of 80. Because Sri Lanka is a competitively highest hierarchical society, which means reflecting inherited inequality as the people follow the different social classes in religion and between the religions. For the dimension uncertainty avoidance, Sri Lanka low score of 45. Sri Lanka is a culture moderately low uncertainty avoidance and low stress levels and low nervousness because Sri Lankans are more tolerant to uncertainty and ambiguity.
My name is Yuan Yuan, metric number 204349. Now I will continue with the context and communication styles. About this part, Sri Lanka is divided into verbal communication and non-verbal communication. First and foremost is communication style. The communication style of Sri Lanka tends to be polite. When speaking with those they do not know well, they may tell their counterparts what they want to hear to avoid conflict. Second, indirect communication. Sri Lankans have a courteous indirect speech style. This means they prefer to insinuate things rather than be explicit in their meaning. Next, hierarchy. The norms of communication are in part dictated by the observed social hierarchy that underpins Sri Lanka society. Last, soft voices. Sri Lankans often speak in low or harsh tones in public. Moreover, there are few non-verbal communications. First, physical contact. Sri Lankans prefer not touch others when it can be avoided. Body contact between genders is kept minimal throughout most of Sri Lanka as public. This appeal is of effect are considered to be a social taboo. Second, personal space. Sri Lankans respect each other's personal space. They must keep the general distance people to another, like roughly an arm's length. Then, eye contact. Sri Lankans often hold direct eye contact with those the same status or age. However, some people may avert their eyes or from people of opposite genders. Last but not least, gestures. Sri Lankans often use their whole hand to point or gesture towards people or objects, as is implied to point with the index finger. Moving to business culture and etiquette in Sri Lanka, it is important to understand all cultural nuances and adhere to some local customer before starting the business in Sri Lanka. First is business meeting. Shaking hands is the most common form of greeting. Next, we always need to be punctual in attending, but also be prepared to wait the Sri Lankan sense of time is relaxed because we need to wait for the highest ranking to arrive to attend the meeting. Then people enter a meeting in order of importance with the highest ranking person entering the room first. The first meeting with the company in Sri Lanka should be approached purely as a relationship building and know the basic background information before they are willing to do business together. Remember, only the decisions are made by this highest ranking position. Second is business card etiquette. Business cards are usually exchanged after an initial handshake and greeting. Either use both hands or the right hand only when presenting a business card, and make sure that title and the writing are facing the other person. The important thing is do not put it in the back pocket of the pants because this is disrespectful manner. Then in relationship, honesty. Third-party introductions are almost necessary as Sri Lankans prefer to work with those they know and trust. In working to building confidence and loyalty in a business relationship, Sri Lankans tend to ask a great deal about their partners. They must be patient and forthcoming for the sake of the business relationship. All matters of disagreement or conflict should be dealt with in the most diplomatic manner possible. The next part is consumer products to be marketed in Sri Lanka. We decided to choose the milk tablets in the Sri Lanka market. The dairy industry is one of the most important industries in Sri Lanka that has the potential to develop the market and the economy as they have the habit of drinking tea in the afternoon. Some people put milk into the tea to become Sri Lanka milk tea. Therefore, Milk tablets can also be used as milk powder put into tea and coffee, added to recipes to increase the amount of protein and energy. Milk tablets are one of the dairy products with highly nutritious food and much tasted supplement. It can help to reduce malnutrition and improve the nutrition level. In addition, milk tablets have include 9 nutrients with high protein and calcium, meaning that are needed for the human body. The ingredients of the milk tablets consist of whole milk powder, vegetable oil, glucose, and sodium acetate. Milk tablets are water soluble. Milk tablets need to be put into warm water to dissolve and become milk can take it directly. This product is also halal certified as it can be provided to all Sri Lankans, even for Muslims. So why did we choose milk tablets in Sri Lanka? The first reason is Sri Lanka's local production meets 40% of total domestic milk requirements, and they need to import about 60% of milk products to fulfill the domestic requirements, mostly from New Zealand and Australia. Over the last decade, imports of the milk products have grown at a higher pace than the growth in local production. The consumption of dairy products increased dramatically when the government adopted the open economic policy in 1977. Therefore, the majority of the consumers are dependent on import milk products, and our milk tablets will be the popular milk products that substitute other milk supplements. The second reason is Sri Lanka lacks pastures and lands that can be developed as pastures. Insufficient animals feed with the required nutrients and the non-usage of modern methods in animal farms. This will be constraints to Sri Lanka's increase in milk production domestically. Therefore, it will be a good opportunity to promote the milk tablets to meet the needs of Sri Lanka market. The third reason is Sri Lanka faces the challenge of protein deficiency. An average person in Sri Lanka is known to consume more carbohydrates such as rice, bread, and other starches, but fewer vegetables and food rich in protein. Therefore, milk tablets can help Sri Lankans to solve the protein deficiency problem because milk tablets are a rich source of protein and it can provide the same nutrition as milk powder and fresh milk. That's all from me. Then I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Fangda with my metric number is 20493. Now I will continue to present tariff and non-tariff barriers in Sri Lanka. Next, tariff. Sri Lanka uses import tariff as its main trade policy instrument. There are currently 3 import tariff bands. Generally, raw materials are at 0%, intermediate goods are at 50%, and the finished goods are at 30%. Exporters need to be aware that there are surcharges applicable for imported goods such as port and aviation levy, value-added tax, and special commodity levy. Next slide. The slide will show the harmonized system code in Sri Lanka for our product milk tablets. The HS code is under 04.02. Milk and cream concentrated or containing added sugar or other sweetening matter. Next slide. The first is Port and Airport Development Levy, PAL. It applied on most import. The tariff range from 5 to 10% on different product categories. This should be charged and levied on the cost, insurance, and the freight value of every article originating from outside Sri Lanka and imported into Sri Lanka. Locally manufactured products are not subject to the PAL. The picture shows that Sri Lanka has placed under HS code 04.02 sweetened and cream milk product within 2.5% of an import tariff known as the PAL. Next slide. Next is value-added tax VAT. This is payable on imported goods and on the supply of goods, including wholesale and retail trade and services in Sri Lanka. VAT is payable on the prescribed valuations of import and domestic suppliers at a standard rate of 8% and increased to 50% on December 1, 2019. Exports and certain specified international services are zero rated. Next is special committed levy SCL. This is charged on some imported food items. Those SCL rates on basic food items are changed frequently, creating uncertainty for importers. Locally manufactured products are not subject to SCL. Items subject to SCL typically include sugar, vegetable oil, margarine, dairy, bread, and yogurt. Next slide. Moving on non-tariff barriers. Although Sri Lanka uses tariffs as the main model of barriers to trade, there are few tariff barriers. The first is price controls. Sri Lanka's customer affairs authority CAA sets maximum retail prices (MRP) for insurance customer items. Items subject to MRP include wheat flour, canned fish, milk, curd, sugar, chicken, and imported based varieties of rice. Next is embargo. Sri Lanka import ban on several products during COVID-19. This embargo non-tariff on automotive, textiles, and leather, agriculture, and various sectors. The government of Sri Lanka announced measures to reduce importers and easy pressure on the exchange rate and all over balance of payment. Next slide. Sanitary and photosanitary SPS. SPS is cooperating and biosecurity measures that are applied to protect human, animal, and plant life of health from risk arising from diseases and from risk arising from additives and contaminants in food and feed. Affected products under these technical regulations are also subject to import inspections. SPS measures mostly concern manufacturing standards, meat and dairy products, genetically modified food. The last is import licensing. Importers must pay a fee to receive an import license. Approval is at discretion of the regulators. No standard practices are followed, and the recommends can vary. Next slide. The last part is target market in Sri Lanka. Next slide. First is geography. We choose Colombo as our target location to market our milk tablets. This is because Colombo is the commercial capital and the largest city of Sri Lanka with a total population 642,533. Colombo is western province in Sri Lanka and its geography is a mix of land and water. In addition, it is a financial center of the ASEAN and a tourist destination. Next slide. Demographic. The first is religion. Colombo is a very ethnic diverse city and its terms of religion has Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity. Therefore, our product milk tablets are halal certified and we target can be provided to all religions in Sri Lanka. Next is gender. Our product milk tablets have all gender, which is male and female in Colombo. Next is age. We target to sell our product milk tablets to people who are busy with work but needed in the nutrition of milk. We target customers aged 20 to 59 with a total of 333,665 people who live in Colombo. We have also found that many people in this age group are busy with work and neglect to take care of their health. Our milk tablets are only put into warm water and dissolve and become milk to get good nutrition. Next slide. Next is economics. Our target customers are low and middle income groups. We found that their monthly salary in Sri Lanka ranges from the lowest average 26,900 LKR to the highest average 474,000 LKR. The median salary per month is 150,000 LKR. This milk tablets is targeted at employed people who are earning low and middle income. The price of the milk tablets is affordable for them to purchase. They will prefer to choose milk tablets to substitute and to the other milk products like milk powder of fresh milk. The last is demography. We found that Sri Lanka's expectations for a healthy lifestyle from milk products. They are willing to spend money on buying the health supplement as an investment in good health. It's because Sri Lankans are taking less protein from their dairy meals. They are ready to pay a certain level of a reasonable price on milk products to maintain the body in good condition. That is our good presentation. Thank you for listening.